Hi, I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Toretko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, we're back. And as you can see, it's my birthday. So happy to be here on my birthday, putting out a special pod for everybody. How's it going there, JG?
Mate, it's great here. It's nice to see the birthday boy. I've not been really able to contact you today. I know you've been very busy. You've not been at work.
Well, I'm moving house, mate. And yeah, I was just lucky. I even took the green screen down for a little bit. But yeah, had to put it back up just for this one, just so I have some balloons in the background. Yeah, indeed.
So did you catch much tennis today on your birthday, or you've been quite busy with plans?
I've been keeping an eye on it. I've not been able to watch as many as I would have liked, but still keeping an eye on those results, and had a watch of some of the matches yesterday, and yeah, some pretty tasty results there. Probably the biggest one, which I'm sure we're going to get into straight away, was, well, ATP Hamburg.
Yeah.
Look who's gone out in their first round is Daniil Medvedev there.
Wait, the first seed. We didn't see that one coming at all.
Bizarre, wasn't it? And to Ugo Humbert, who one of these bright young prospects on the tour. Yeah, it's great to see him playing, and he was playing his top level tennis as well against Medvedev, and it just goes to show it's not that easy to transition between hard and clay that quickly. And Medvedev's come up a cropper, and he was hoping for probably a bit more practice going into the French Open. And now he doesn't have that. Now he's just got to go straight in.
Yeah, with Medvedev, he's not really. I don't really like Medvedev on clay. I don't really consider him as someone who's like one of the top of on the men's game. There's so many players who are a lot better than him on clay for sure. He's definitely predominantly a hard court player. But even still, it's disappointing. You'd expect him to get through the first round. And from what I've seen in the post-match interview, I didn't catch the match, but Humbert was very, very happy with his performance. I think he kind of was just very fortunate in the fact that his game was just going well on that day. Like everything, he was hitting the lines of every shot. And Medvedev didn't really have any answers for it. Just to get to the comments quickly, Lamb's wishing you happy birthday.
Hey, the Lamb. Thanks. I think he was the first one in today on my messages to wish me happy birthday. So really appreciate that. It's nice to have some support from all the fans, and obviously the biggest Instagram fan, Mr. World Lamb.
Anyway, let's get through some of the other ones, I guess. I don't know if you're going to make it a tad bigger.
Yeah. That's what she said. Here we go. And into the look at some of these results. One I probably wasn't that surprised at. Do you want to look at maybe the past? Was there a round? No,
let's start here. You couldn't have picked a better place to start. Benoit Paire.
I know.
What is going on with Benoit Paire? It's just crazy, isn't it?
I thought he'd lose, but another retirement. What's happening to him at the moment?
Do you know the craziest thing is he had 2 positive tests before this match, and the Hamburg officials allowed him to still play with a positive test. Bizarre. And he's come out and he's said, they allowed me to play, so I'm going to play. But the rules are so different to, I think, obviously, when he was in the US, with any positive test, not allowed to play. Also in France, for the qualies, I'm assuming he's not allowed to play in the French Open at all. But we know he had coronavirus, didn't we? About a month ago, it feels like now. We're not sure whether it's the fact that it's just like a bit of like remaining whatever it is left in his body, which is always triggering these positive tests. But however, like, how are you like if you're Casper Ruud, was he made aware that Paire had coronavirus before the match? Because if I was him, I wouldn't play it. Would you?
Not safe, is it? I mean, you don't know who he's going to have to come into contact with, because he's going through to the next round, and then he's going to be in contact with another player.
Mate, it's a shambles. I'll be honest, it's a complete shambles. I'm not sure what the German officials and the people organising this event are doing. For me, well, since then, I've seen that Paire's now had a negative test, But it just doesn't bode well, does it? He's having positive test, negative test, negative test. Who's testing him? What kind of thing are they playing around with? It's just ridiculous.
It is very confusing, isn't it? I don't really know like how reliable these tests are. If someone's positive, then negative, then positive, then negative.
Well, we had 2 positives back to back, and then he had a negative afterwards.
So what's the difference between these 2 tests? That's the thing. I don't know what the difference between the 2 tests is.
Well, for me personally, you shouldn't be playing, regardless, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. If it comes up, I thought that was the whole thing. We're keeping everybody in bubbles.
No, but it depends what tournament you're in. In Hamburg, they're more lenient with it. That's what he come out and said. And his head's just everywhere at the moment. Like he's clearly not well, is it? He doesn't seem to be playing at all at the level we expect from Benoit Paire. We know he throws a tantrum. That's before coronavirus or with coronavirus.
Yeah,
but even forgetting that, he just doesn't seem himself generally, like playing tennis.
Yeah, it's a bit sad to see, really. I mean, we know how good he actually is as well. And we know that he can really mix it with the best. And
he really can as well.
In and around that top 20, he's on his game. He can take on those top 10 for sure. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if he should. It's probably just a money thing. If they're letting him in the tournament, he's going to play it. He's going to probably take home a hefty wedge of cash. And why would you turn it down? If they're going to let you play, then fair enough. But it's not really fair on other competitors as well. One, you're taking the opportunity away from somebody else who could have actually finished the match potentially.
Yeah.
And and 2, you could be potentially infecting people, and that's nothing that we want to see.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move away from that because that's enough on Benoit Paire. Brilliant for Casper Ruud, obviously playing some really good tennis right now, and one to watch in Hamburg. I feel like he could maybe sneak it.
Oh yeah, he's definitely.
But another one who I think could be right there to the end, another clay court specialist, is Christian Garin, and he was able to dispatch Hanfmann in 2 sets.
Who did take out Monfils, and Monfils not been looking the same Monfils since he came back from this injury. Obviously lost to Koepfer in the last tournament in Rome, and now gone out in straight sets against Hanfmann. And if I watched that match, and it was a little bit lackluster, and he didn't really have any pop. He wasn't the same around the court. Hanfmann pretty tidy on his serve, really, just got the job done. He didn't really look under threat on his own serve the whole match. So I don't know. It's a bit sad I hope Monfils gets back to that same form he was in before the break, because he was unplayable. And it's just sad. This break's really...
It's just disrupted his rhythm, isn't it? It's just Monfils, man. He's a top player, been around for some time. And he's usually really up for the French Open based off the fact that the crowd's always behind him. He's able to use some of his trick shots and sort of get everyone going.
For sure.
So hopefully that's firing, because I really want to see him there playing some good stuff. We know he's more than capable of doing it. Definitely.
I know that, we've got a couple of other people there in the chat. We got Paulius saying hi. Nice to have you in. Tennis for me. Hi again. And Jagger Cohen back again. Nice
Guess who's back?
Yeah, he's back again.
For me, this is always the guy who did his homework once while he was watching us, right?
That's it.
And he's a big Zverev fan, as a lot of us know, and he reckons Zverev's going to win the French Open. Stay tuned for later on in the video. We'll be talking about who we think has the best chance of the French Open. But for now, let's just finish off Hamburg.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite interested. The person that I probably want to touch on next, if possible,
go on.
is, well, he was a lucky loser to get into the tournament, and I saw his draw against Albert Ramos in the first round, and I just thought, I fancy him in this. It's Publix. Publix was up against Ramos and managed to beat him 2-0. I was like, he was the underdog in that match. Obviously, Ramos, great clay court player. Then he comes up against Felix today and straight sets again. That's really impressive, just to take out Felix. And we all know what he was pulling out the locker. The underarm serve.
But as soon as I saw it, I sent it to you instantly. It's like clockwork. I knew you'd love it. And he actually pulled out an underarm serve ace against Felix.
It's amazing.
I've not seen many of them. But Felix was just standing there like, what's going on here?
I just love it. I just think that's the perfect one. He was on juice. It was his advantage. You're just thinking you just need that extra edge to keep people guessing. And if Felix wants to stand 2 meters behind the baseline, then sorry, but you're not covering all angles of the court, and you're not covering every eventuality. You have to be prepared that someone does. But well, it's part of the people are saying they don't want it to be one of the rules. They want it to be like outlawed. No,
No, I
because
think that's silly. I think most people would just assume, would say that it's good that it's part of the rules. At the end of the day, it's tennis. You're allowed to do that. But for me, I just think Felix generally in that match was just a bit disappointed.
yeah,
Obviously, he's a lot higher. Like, you'd put him up there a lot more to be beating someone like Bublik. I know it's on clay, it's not necessarily his best surface, but even still, I thought he would do a lot better. I think it's a bit disappointing for him.
I think Bublik's run may come to an end in the next round, maybe because Garin, very, very good clay court player. I think Bublik sort of tried his luck in these first 2 matches, and he sort of rode his luck a little bit. But he's done well, but I don't see him getting past Garin, to be honest. I think Garin's looks solid in these first 2 matches that he's played, and I can see him. Garin's only played 1 match so far. Sorry, he didn't have to play the.
No, he didn't have to. No,
apologies. Yeah, but he like Hanfman. We know how solid he's been on clay over the past few weeks, and he just tidied him up pretty easy, 2-love. So
for me though, this is going to surprise you though. Out of all of these who we've mentioned so far, obviously the first seed's out, Daniil Medvedev.
Yeah.
The second seed still in, and that's Stefano Tsitsipas.
Ooh.
We was talking about will he recover from that terrible loss in the US Open, but he played some good stuff today against Dan Evans. Looked really good, beating him 6-3, 6-1.
And Evans, another one that's not really come back from this break in much good form, really, has he? I mean, he had 1 win at the US Open.
Yeah, who was that? It had a good result against someone, I remember.
It escapes me. I can bring it up 1 sec. But yeah, he obviously went out to, was it Mutet? I believe he went out to in 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, he took out. Let me just find it 1 second. He took out Seyboth Wild, but Seyboth Wild more of a clay court.
Yeah.
Took him out straight sets. But
I
then
thought there was someone else he beat. Maybe not. Maybe in Cincinnati it might have been.
Just that one. But he beat Rublev in Cincinnati.
No, that was what I was thinking about. Evans beating. That was it.
That was a good result.
It's been okay. It's not been terrible. I just think I don't know. It's tricky. Tsitsipas, obviously second seed. You'd fancy he was favourite for the match, and for me now, I think he is the one to beat in this tournament. And the reason I say that is because of the draw. If you look at the draw, you pull up the draw if you've got it. If you've got it there,
want me to bring it up? Okay.
Yeah, bring it up. He has a very favourable draw, in my opinion. He's able to avoid Rublev and Batista Agut until the final. And the players he's going to be posed to be playing against, I do really fancy him against them. Obviously, he could crumble like he did in the US Open again. And even the way he played in Rome was just shocking, I must admit. But for me, I just really fancy him.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a favourable draw. He's up against...
Because obviously Fritz is going to be knocked out. Pablo Cuevas, he's not been playing very good tennis. I'll be honest.
Easy though on clay. Cuevas, quite.
I think it is really now. Cuevas is a bit.
You'd expect Tsitsipas to beat him if it was the normal Tsitsipas, but Lajovic, sorry if I'm getting the pronunciation wrong. Yeah, he's someone who we know is playing top clay court tennis right now. Another amazing victory there. He cruised past Manarino.
Yeah,
and he's up against Karen Khachanov, and I fancy Lajovic to actually win that one. And
I just feel like that's an easier match potentially for Tsitsipas. And if you look up, I would prefer playing them than say someone like a Garin on clay or a Rublev or a Batista Agut. In my opinion, I think that side of the draw is slightly easier. Yeah. This looks a lot more stacked with some of the top players.
Struggled a little bit, but I think the test was maybe tougher for Rublev and for Batista Agut. Koepfer obviously took a set off Djokovic in.
Koepfer did really well against Agut.
Yeah.
That third set was very close. I think Agut just had a little bit too much, but on another day he could have beaten him.
I'm surprised Tommy Paul as well. He was able to dig out a set on clay against Rublev, so that was really good performance by him.
Yeah,
but third set Rublev stepped it up 6-2, pretty comfortable to be honest. I think it was another level. Yeah. And that makes a really interesting matchup, actually. I'm not sure how I'd call that. Batista got Rublev in that match. Not sure which way I'd go.
It's tough, isn't it? I think it's going to be very close. I'm not even sure who the favourite would be. Maybe marginally Rublev?
I think this, I'd say Batista Agut probably be favourite.
I think it's in my opinion, it's very evenly matched.
This one,
although I'll probably have to go for Agut purely for the fact. That's what I'm saying. You avoid him as well.
This one's interesting. Like, I think this one, people are sleeping on it. This one I called. I like the fact that I called this one.
Yeah.
Said Fognini to beat Kohlschreiber, and he did. It wasn't as convincing as I thought, but Fognini was. You see some of the shots he was playing as well. Like there was the one that they kept on showing on repeat was he just got it hammered into his forehand side, and he was like sort of on the run, but he just wasn't even like looking, and just did this tiny little chop across the court, and it was unplayable. It just
it's Fabio Fognini we're talking about here. This guy's elite on clay. He's one of the top dogs. He's like a sportsman right now, man. Like he's their top players on clay. It's just obviously Fabio's come back from a terrible injury. He's going to take a while to become himself again.
Yeah,
but even in that disappointing loss in Rome against Ugo Humbert, he actually had flashes of brilliance in that match. I remember watching some of the points, and they were crazy good from Fabio. But then other times it was just like ridiculously bad. So it's going to take some time for his consistency of his game to get there again. But we know how good he potentially can be. And another year without his injuries, you'd be looking at him as someone who you'd think could win this tournament. I don't think he will now. I think personally, Casper Ruud will knock him out in the next round.
I'm not so sure. If he comes back a little bit more, obviously he had this double ankle surgery. If he's back to his top movement, I think he can really cause Ruud some problems. I know Ruud likes to hit some big top spin.
Mate, Ruud's just troubled Djokovic, you know. You need to remember that.
I know, but he still didn't take a set off him. But Fognini,
unlucky not to.
I just love the flatness that he hits the ball with. It just skips off the surface. You can't get hit return like some of these flat shots that he just does. They just go boom, whip past you. And those are unplayable. And I think when you've got that in your locker, if you can string enough of them together, you win. Like you saw in that last round, he took out Kohlschreiber in a match. He was an underdog as well because he's only just coming back.
Yeah.
So, but we know that with Fognini, anything can happen. He could probably lose 6-love or something.
So based on everything you've said, then let's give our predictions for Hamburg. We've had a look at the draw now. We've gone through most of the matches, I believe. So you didn't go through quickly. We spoke about all of them.
No, I think all of them. Yeah, we got all of them.
So based off that, I feel like Tsitsipas with his draw being at the bottom of the draw there, I think he's gonna shock a lot of people and win this tournament. We obviously know what ability he's got, and I know it's hard to say because he's in probably one of the worst form left in the draw, to be honest, out of all the other players left in it. But I don't know. With tennis, you never know what's going to happen. And for me, I think Tsitsipas is going to win.
I'm going to go with... This might be a bit of an outsider, but I really fancy him on clay. I'm going to go with Garin to win it. Just because he did very well at the beginning of the year in the clay court tournaments, and he seems to just hit the ground running again on the clay.
Wait, is Garin not going to be drawn against the winner of Rublev Agut?
Garin will be drawn against the winner of... No, he's playing Publix next, and then he could play...
Yeah, the winner after that.
Tsitsipas, potentially, in the semi. So that's what I mean. And then he could be up against potentially, or whoever makes it through from this side. Could be...
Fair enough.
It could be Casper Ruud, to be honest. I mean, out of all those four, you would probably say Casper Ruud's in the best form. So you'd probably assume Casper Ruud would be playing up against, I don't want to say it, probably Rublev I would go against, even though...
Really? I'm going to go for Agut in that match.
I just think Rublev, he's still learning every game. Batista Agut's a little bit older.
Did Rublev play in Rome?
Rublev?
Yeah.
Just bear with me. Just going to have a check.
I forget now. While you do that, I'll just go to the comment. Chris is
lost.
Here. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Tiger or Tigre. Ruud should handle the fog. I love the enthusiasm there.
Handle the
Sumner's looking forward to the Ruud Fognini match.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
He also, Tigre Hederte, Ruud Tsitsipas final, then both to crash out early in the French.
Ooh.
Yeah, most probably. We've seen it so far with the men's draw. People who have been doing well in tournaments before struggling in the next one. You've also seen the other way around. Dominic Thiem crashing out early in Cincinnati and then going to win the US Open. So we've seen it a few times.
Well, looking at what you were saying, he was playing Rublev in the Rome tournament. I forgot because he went out to Hubert Hurkacz, which
that was right.
Now I'm sort of changing my mind.
That's what I'm saying. I remember that and thinking
it
was a bit disappointing. It was because Hubert Hurkacz has not been putting many good results together of late. I think that was a really dodgy loss for him, especially the second set. I know it went to 3 sets, and Rublev in the second set, he won the set quite comfortably, hitting, I think it was on like a handful of unforced errors. And then just third set, he just switched off. And you can't afford to do that against the Gut because he's someone who's always switched on every point. So for me, that's why I think a Gut would take him.
You have a look at their record against each other. The last time they played, Rublev won 2-1, I believe. And that was in November 2019. Ooh. That was in Davis Cup, though. And then Bautista Agut won all of the other meetings, all 2-0. So they're all on the hard court, though, I believe.
All right.
Don't quote me on the Davis Cup one. But, I believe they're all hard court.
Anyway, you're going to stick with Garin?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Garin. I just love him as a clay court player. He's one of my favourite clay court players to watch. So hopefully we can get to see more of him in this tournament.
Yeah, I agree. Super exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get rid of that. Should we? Where did you want to go on to next? There's been some crazy French Open qualifiers. Should we touch on those?
Yeah, let's go straight into that. I know people were talking earlier about who they fancy for the French Open, and it's quite exciting now that we're going to be heading there after Rome. That's always good to see. I'm super excited for this slam. I think it's wide open, although people are saying it's between the people in the title, Djokovic, Nadal, and Thiem. I think we could be surprised. This is going to be a really open field. We're in uncertain times, and it's going to be difficult to see who reacts the best in these circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many matches here.
We can't go through all of them.
I don't know how we're going to get through that. I just wanted to bring up, one that we were super disappointed about.
Yeah.
Which was obviously the first, it's in the first round, which was Carlos Alcaraz Garcia.
Yeah.
Carlos Alcaraz Garcia. He went out, what was it? He went out, he had 2 match points against, I forget the name, Vukic, they're from Australia.
Alexander Vukic, yeah.
Yeah, and let me see if I can find the matchup here. And there it is. Yeah. So, he had those, he was even 5-3 up in the tiebreak in the second set after the Vukic came back. He was a massive favourite as well. This was a person only 4 places above him in the rankings, and he was a 3 or 4 to 1 underdog. Vukic. This is how much.
Yeah, but I didn't give Vukic a chance. I'm actually really disappointed, to be honest. I'm really disappointed. It's such a shame we're not going to see Alcaraz in the French. Obviously, we're not going to see Musetti either.
No.
And mate, it's just a bit sad, really, because I feel like them two would have really lit it up and made an exciting tournament.
Yeah,
it's going to have to be another year. I'm sure they'll be back next year, both of them. Hopefully in more normal times. But in this situation, he didn't make it. At the end of the day, it's his own fault. He should be winning that match. He obviously I think he had 2 match points to take it.
He did.
Was he up at 40-15 or something on his serve? Or I forget the exact point by point, but it's just disappointing from him. He needs to do a lot better then, sort of get it over the line. You can put it down to maybe inexperience. He's obviously a young guy, not been in them situations. To go to the French Open, I'm sure it's like a dream for him. It's probably the slam out of all of them which he'll be most up for, and which he'll stand the best chance in competing in. And he's just missed the opportunity. Yeah,
it's very sad. I mean, there's been quite a lot of so many matches here as well. Like, I don't know how we're going to touch on all of them. It's quite interesting to see not Justin Brown, Dustin Brown. That was his brother. Dustin Brown going through there. That was an impressive result against Summit Nagal. And Dustin Brown's actually gone through again today. So he's now through. Is that the 3rd round of qualifying?
Yeah. And then Tommy Robredo. Look at big Tommy. He's there.
I know. I think he went out though today. So
I think he did. Disappointing. Let's go to the next day.
Let's go to the next day.
Because we're going to get our hopes up too much and players who have already gone.
Yeah. So a guy, obviously we had him on the podcast. He's been playing really well. Henry Laxonen.
Yeah.
He went through against Sid Suburvi.
I still think you're a day behind.
Yeah, I am. That was yesterday. I watched that match. Laxton played really well, played even better today, and went through 6-1, 6-1 against someone who wasn't actually, I thought, give him a better game. Mina from Argentina.
Yeah.
Sorry, that rhymes. But yeah, he was a very good clay court player as well. Is it Facundo Mina?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, impressive, man. We love Henry Laxton. We spoke to him on the podcast, and he's a top player, one who could do well in the tournament. I don't see him going on and winning it or even getting to a semi or a final, but
no, I mean,
he'll do well. He'll make some money from this tournament. He'll do his rank in the world of good to be in it. And he's a nice guy as well, so we wish him the best. And what you're on right now, this is one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
is Aslan Karatsev.
That's it.
And he is a man in form. I don't know what's happened to him. I remember him before. Obviously, we watched a lot of challengers, and he was someone who was just very average, just a guy on tour.
Yeah.
He pulls up some wins, loses a lot, just very average. Not really much to say about him. Since the whole Corona thing and since lockdown, coming back to tennis, this guy's incredible.
Yeah,
like generally, he's like his twin started playing in place of himself because he is winning everything. Granted, he lost to, I think it was just Stan Wawrinka in the Prague final. But then after that, he played again another challenger in Prague and won that, beating some top players along the way. And what he's been doing, I think, which is super impressive, is he's not been just winning matches. He's been blowing like the opposition away, winning comfortably 6-1, 6-2.
I don't know if you want to share that.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his thing. So I'm not just saying it. This guy has just been a man on a mission. And Aslan Karatsev before, you used to look at him thinking, this guy's just nothing special. But mate, he's just come back into the craziest form ever.
Look at this. I mean,
and if he keeps this up, he's going to be. I'm not sure where's he ranked right now, but he'll be within the top 100 soon.
No, he's just moved up now. I believe he's around about 120 or something like that. So he's really, really rocketed up the rankings.
I don't know where he was before. What was it, like 200 something?
Yeah, he was like close to 300. I think he was. Yeah. So he's really rocketed through the rankings, and as you can see, since he hit the clay, it's been pretty much all green. It's all go.
And this is what's super interesting. You face him up at the first round against Stefano Tsitsipas, someone lacking a lot of confidence right now. You'd kind of be fancying Aslan Karatsev, would you not? Or am I just crazy right now?
I think that's a little. Bit far.
He's in the form of his life. He's playing ridiculously good tennis, and when you're winning matches, it just breeds confidence, and we see crazy results on the back of that.
Well, you never know, and someone with this amount of form.
I don't think you watched Tsitsipas in Rome, mate. It was beyond awful. The amount of unforced errors he hit.
Well, this is like you said, and we look up here. He's beating good people. Robin Haase, someone from the podcast. Henry Laxton, another person from the podcast. All good players. Herbert, amazing French player. Golbis, amazing player. We've got, obviously, keep on going up. Enzo Kakar, Steven Diaz, Golbis again. Wawrinka just...
One of the ones I'm most impressed with right there is Talon Griekspoor.
Yeah.
He's a really good player. He's been winning a lot of matches of late. And he dispatched him as well. What was that, in 2 sets?
But look how many sets he's dropped, though. That's the key here. Look, no sets dropped for how many matches now? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that like 8 matches without dropping
a set? But Popko is a bit weird, mate. Like he turns it on and off when he fancies it.
He's a very odd one. Yeah, he can be the best player one day and then the worst player the next day. And even within a set, within the one set, he can just turn it on and off. It's just bizarre. I don't know. He's just one to
Oscar Otte there as well. Another really good clay court player. Mate, honestly, this guy can beat a top. I genuinely think he can beat a top 20 player in the first round. It's a bit of a shock. Aslan Karatsev. Look out for the name. We'll have a look for the draw. He's a really good player and he's in some top form. So we'll see what happens with that one for sure.
For sure.
I don't know if you want to get on to any other results from the French Open qualies.
I mean, from the qualies, there's not so many shocks, I'd say.
No.
Liam Brody, he's went through. That is a really shock. Result. Yeah, I thought
I want to talk about him actually because I'm just so surprised how well his game sort of
on clay
developed onto clay. Like right now, he's been beating a few people. He's had a few impressive results, which made me think, oh wow, Liam Brody's doing well, winning some good games there. And one to watch. Really good. He's flying the flag. He's doing a lot better than Evans. It could be the only British man in it. Obviously, we'll have Andy Murray, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to be there. He's done some selfies on Philippe Chatrier court.
I'm not sure if I think Norrie's been knocked out as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like it's going to be Brody and Murray.
No, I think Norrie got knocked out of the other one, wasn't it? He was in another tournament. That was in a challenger.
Oh,
I think Norrie will be.
He was in Forli Challenger. You're right. Yeah, I saw him get knocked out.
Yeah, we'll get onto that challenger though, because there's some exciting stuff to talk about with the challenge. But yeah, Brody, he's been beating some good people. We obviously Van der Zandschulp, that's a really, really good player from the Netherlands. Beat Seppi, which is a really bright prospect in Italy, really bright young talent. He beat him 2 sets to love.
Yeah.
Trungelliti, he's beaten him as well. Kamke as well from Germany. These are all very good clay court players. He just lost to Vilela Martinez, who we know is very, very good.
Yeah.
But
just to rewind a sec, actually, because you've reminded me, talking about Van der Sloot, obviously from the Netherlands, we were talking about Aslan Karatsev as well, and he beat Griekspoor on the journey. Griekspoor is now the #1 Dutch player in the world after he beat Robin Haase. So Griekspoor is someone that's what I forgot. That's what I wanted to say earlier. But he is a really impressive player. Obviously, the #1 Dutch player, and Van der Sloot's another really young one who's sort of going for that title, and it's sort of shaping up quite nicely between them three. They're all quite close in the rankings. Van der Sloot's the youngest. I think he will nick the #1 title in Holland, but it might take him a bit longer.
Quite possible. Yeah, Talon Griekspoor is very, very good player, and so is this
Dustin Brown again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not through
beating Muller.
Yeah, Muller's a very good player, isn't he?
Yeah.
So look, and that was one that surprised me. Jason Jung knocking out Tommy Robredo, but Jung not to be messed with. Unfortunately, Robin Haase went out as well to Pedro Martinez, but Pedro Martinez is very, very good on the clay. So not that surprised about that one, unfortunately.
So we go over to the women's?
Yeah, I think we should. Go on then.
Let's go over to the women's.
I thought that one you might want to look.
Yeah.
See, Enzo
Djokovic,
yeah, that was a big match. That 2 great clay quarters.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go and move over and have a look at some of these women results. There was one yesterday. I just wanted to give a shout out to Ankita Rayner, who made it through in her qualifying match. So she made it through in the 3 long sets. So yeah, congratulations to her. We obviously had her on the podcast. Unfortunately, yeah, Bibiane Schoofs, she didn't make it through her match, but yeah, we still wished her the best.
Leonie Kung there young player.
She is. Yeah, it's one girl that I was speaking to fairly recently. She might come on the podcast hopefully soon. So yeah, I
think she has a really bright future in the game. I really like watching her. Actually, I think she's super talented.
I know the Lamb is very, very keen on Leonie Kung. So these Swiss talents, yeah.
So we go through them. I think there wasn't really many to mention. McNally, that was good, yeah. Obviously, a young player coming through. And there wasn't really many to mention on the women's side, was there?
No, there's not too many. I mean, they're not many household names really that you really know.
I think it'll be more exciting when the draw comes out to see what's happening there. We've also had the news that what's her name? It's escaped me. The lady who won the US Open last year, Andreescu. She's now pulled out of the French Open as well. No. So she's not going to be playing in that. I think she needs to give herself some time for her body to fully recover. Had a lot of injuries. It's really sad because she was playing the best tennis in 2019, in my opinion, on the women's tour. Halep's going to be there though. I think Halep's the one to beat really in the women's draw. We'll have a look at the draw when it all comes out in the coming weeks and in the coming days. Sorry, and after that we'll give our predictions on who we think is going to come out on top. But for me, I'm already going to start giving a little hint. I think Halep's a serious competitor, and you could say maybe Osaka as well. But for me, they're the 2 informed women's players and the ones who are kind of a bit above everyone else. You've got Azarenka, another name. She's in that discussion as well. But for me, if without them, maybe like 3 or 4 players, the gap below them is quite evident. All these top players are just nowhere near them, in my opinion.
It's a bit shocking, really. I thought that people would be able to challenge Halep a little bit better, and she's only really just coming back herself. But just goes to show the strength that she has and just how good she is. And she's got to be a clear favourite heading into this French Open, I'd say.
Yeah.
I can't see anybody
on clay as well, man. Like the way she's been playing.
It's hard to
in Rome, she was just like unbeatable, mate.
But you never know. Peronkova might turn up again. Make a run.
I'm excited for Peronkova. I'm really excited to watch her matches. It'd be interesting to see how she changes from the hard courts to the clay courts.
Yeah,
she's not been doing much practice, has she? She skipped Rome. It's understandable, but she's going to go straight from that, really, in essence, to another match in Roland Garros, from slam to slam. Yeah. So mess around, does she? She goes missing for a few years, comes back, does a few slams.
That's it. That's
not a bad way to live your life.
Yeah, just want to say thanks for everybody for joining us tonight. I know it's probably a bit of a late one for some people, but yeah, thanks for joining me on my birthday. And yeah, if you haven't liked the video yet, please hit the like button. It just helps us out, and yeah, just gets us seen by more and more people on YouTube, so we can help the channel grow. And yeah, if you want to get in the chat and just send us some questions, yeah, just tell us what you're thinking about the French Open, the upcoming big Grand Slam, or any of these challenger events, because you know that we love the challengers, and there's so many top matches, and I want to touch on them next if we can.
Yeah,
if you can bring up we've got the Forli Challenger in Italy.
Yeah, Vanch is here. He's messaged you happy birthday.
Thank you, Vanch. Appreciate that.
Let's get that out.
Cheers for that.
What are you drinking for your birthday anyway? I thought you'd have a special drink today.
No, I've just got a Stella, mate. nothing too special. But you never know. I'm in the process of moving, so I'm just gonna probably, once we're moved in, just then I'm gonna crack open some champers or something.
Fair enough.
Have a proper yeah. So let's have a look at these ones, because there's some really interesting matches. You mentioned Norrie went out. Bit poor, really, to be honest. I don't know. He's not really. I don't see Norrie as a clay quarter, really, if I'm honest.
I know.
I know, but one.
No, I agree with that. It is disappointing for him, but is what
one I was shocked with. I thought might do. I tipped Bonadio to win his first round match.
Wait, did you actually? Because I did as well. I really fancied Bonadio,
and he was he was a big outsider in the first match as well. So that was good. And he was a big outsider in this match. And I thought he might take out Montero because he hadn't had as much match practice. But Montero, we know how good Montero is, and sort of proved it there. And too strong. He's top 100 for a reason. And took him out.
Man. The anticipation's killing me. Let's get on to the big one. We're just desperate to talk about, and that's Lorenzo Musetti.
There he is again. And he's taken out Francis TFO. And Francis TFO, I thought this could be a potential banana skin maybe for Musetti, because you never know with TFO. He could sometimes turn up. He's got the power, but passes the test.
After that second set, man, when TFO won it, I was actually fearing the worst. I was quite negative. I was thinking, it's just catching up on him. All these matches, obviously the crushing defeat in Rome against Quetfa, that's going to play a part in his head, in his mind. And I was generally fearing the worst for that third set. I was actually thinking maybe it could be like a 6-1 or a 6-2 loss or something like that. But he dug in, and instead he gave TFO a 6-2 thrashing, really, in the third set.
Drubbing.
So fair play to him, mate. I'm just over the moon with it. And it's so exciting to see Musetti into the next round. I'm not sure who he plays next.
I'm just gonna see if I can bring up the draw. I'll bring it up in another window, and I can. Let's run through these, and then we can look at the draw afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
If possible. Yeah. So you take a look at some of these other results, though. I was shocked at the next one. Correa going out against Clezar. I thought there was part of me. I know Clezar is such a great clay quarter, but then I thought, maybe Correa's tired as well.
Wait, is that Clezar's first match back? I'm not seeing his name for a while.
It's not. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? He's been
he's
out
not played
for
for a bit.
a long time, and he only just got through the first round 2-1 against Batchinger, which is obviously a good German player. But I don't think he had played. Let me just check. Had he been playing much? I think he had a few. No, he just had 3 exhibition matches, and that was it.
They don't
That's all
count,
he's
man.
done.
That's a load of rubbish, some of them exhibitions.
Corey has been playing Berrettini. He's been playing. He beat Struff, Jummer. He's been playing Paolo Lorenzi.
I'm surprised. I'm massively. I thought Correa would quite comfortably win, but
yeah, I just was shocked. I thought, he's definitely going to do this. This was a match that I thought would have been close last year, but Correa I thought maybe to come on a bit more. But just goes to show, Clezar,
Tennis Ace agrees with you. He thinks it's shocking. Correa's a higher grade than Clezar. Yeah, I would have to agree.
Clezar's such a big server, though, and I think that's probably what helped him through this one.
Yeah, so Struff, mate.
Yeah, it's true, but I think he's played.
I think Correa's had an off day, man. He's had a bit of an off
day.
Probably
tired. Plus, once you've been playing all of these Grand Slams and all these other bigger events, coming back to the Challengers, he's probably a bit.
He lost his concentration.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit sad. He's back down in the Challengers when. That's what's made you. Come on. This is where the real tennis is, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got Seppi there as well. I think he's the only man there older than you.
Possibly. I know. That's a bit of a shock, isn't it? But another Italian going through in Italy, and that's the 3rd Italian there. We've got Pellegrino, Musetti, and there's 4 in total, which is amazing again for the Italians. Caruso down there. Yeah. A very good result. So, and Lloyd Harris, he's there. Just going through against Fratangelo. I'm just going to bring up the draw just so you can see what's going on in Forli. 1 second.
Yeah, Vanch, we'll go to the comments quickly. Vanch says TFO needs a more compact forehand. I think he needs to work on a lot, but I can't say too much because I criticised him a lot, especially against that defeat against Andy Murray in Cincinnati. I thought he was really poor. But since then, in the US Open, he played some good stuff, and I think he got quite far in the end. He beat Martin Fucsovic in an impressive match, and I can't really criticize. Since then, I've been reluctant to criticize him, but I agree. Yeah, I think his forehand needs to improve.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely has a few areas. Yeah, I've got the draw up if you want to ping that up.
Nice one.
A very interesting next match, as we were just talking about now. Musetti versus Seppi. That is a very good match.
Mate, young versus the old.
Yeah, that's it. The new breed versus the old breed.
I think Seppi must be double his age.
Probably close. Probably close. Probably old enough to be his dad. And yeah, you got that set up. I reckon probably Caruso I'm favouring in the other one.
I'm going to say Harris.
Oh, I
think
you
Harris
never go against Caruso. I
don't usually know, but I think Harris will beat him there. Don't ask me why. I just think Harris has got him.
Harris is a bit of a powerhouse, isn't he, from South Africa?
He's quite a good-looking bloke as well.
I'm sure he'll be very happy you say so. But Musetti, I don't know. I'm hoping Musetti can get through this. We want to see a Musetti win. We want to see him get back.
It's a tough draw, though, looking at this. Yeah. Like Musetti, if he potentially beats Seppi, then to play either Caruso or Harris is...
And then the other side of the draw's not so...
Yeah, it's very stacked, isn't it, at the top?
It's very weaker, this side, but I would say Montero, Clezar I'd go with on that one.
Yeah, and I think Montero will just get through both of them, to be fair.
Yeah, I think then we're looking at a Montero. Well, it could be potentially a Montero.
I think you have to go down to the bottom, right?
That is the bottom.
Oh, right.
Clezar.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah, that's it. That's just semi-finals. So I reckon if Musetti can get through, he's got to have 2 tough matches, but if he gets through that, he'll be more than ready for Montero. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and with that, I have an extremely interesting stat there from Tennis Ace. Thank you for that. And it's Clezar's 3rd time beating Correa this year.
And if only we'd have known that before we called it before, hasn't it?
That is mental. I don't know how that's happening, but it must be his bogey player then.
Yeah, some players have another player's number, don't they? And it would appear so. And... it's just like maybe a mental side of things.
Mate, we've seen it with Noah Rubin. Do you remember we spoke to him about it? And we noticed him and it's a mouthful.
Kwiatkowski,
Tyson Kwiatkowski. he always struggles to beat him. And they've played each other so many times, but it's a very tough match for Noah Rubin, where you expect him to always do a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. One that, if you want to bring this one up, if we move away from Forli, we had another challenger running in Sibiu in Romania.
Yeah.
There's still some really good players in this. Some shock results as well today. The first one, which I was really shocked over, was Rinderneck. Mind your neck, Rinderneck, out to another guy who I kept on bigging up last year. Remember, to you,
Yeah.
which is Heart Eyes. And Heart Eyes is a very, very. He's just a solid German player. All he does is he just gets.
I've not been convinced by him. He's definitely one of your one more than mine in terms of I've never watched him and thought, wow, this guy's really good. I just think he's average.
He's not wow though. That's the thing. He just gets it over the line every time, and he grinds people, and that's how he gets it done. You see, even in the third set there, 7-4. Probably Rinderneck is so good as well. Great young talent.
But well, the one that stands out to me is the Jaziri one.
Do you think
Orlando Luz lost to Jaziri? I thought Luz would take him.
Luz sometimes every time I think he's going to win, he loses. So he lives up to his name today. Huesler is the one which I've got my eye on because he's had some really impressive results of late. Yep. He obviously was playing very, very well last week. He came up and he beat Feliciano Lopez. He beat Fabio Fognini. He beat Emil Rusevori. He beat Attila Balazs. He beat Gunnar, and he only just lost to Kekmanovic in that final. So, or is it semi-final? Might have been semi-final. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
I think so.
That's the form of somebody who can really go far in this tournament. And
mate, based off all them names there, was there other people playing yesterday? Or I'm assuming so. But for me, he's the best. He's the best player on that list there, and I think he.
I don't know.
I know you could say maybe that Milengani Rodriguez Alves. I think he's a really good player. I saw him play against Dominic Thiem. He took a set off him, didn't he?
Very good player. Very young
player as well. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. But for me, I even Serendolo, Francisco.
That was
the
impressive.
Older brother, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's both of the Serendolos were playing on the same day. I was sad to see that one of them went out. I thought we might get to see the brothers go at it.
Nah, that Serendolo, mate, I'm not a fan of him. I prefer the other one.
He's more of a hardcore.
Francisco's a lot better.
Yeah, but this one, I think it's Juan.
Juan Manuel.
Juan Manuel. He's better on hardcore, I think, than.
Okay.
Yeah, so Serendolo beat Cervantes, though, and I actually was trying to. That was the big underdog of the day that I thought might overturn Serendolo, but came close, not close enough.
Fair enough.
We're looking, Borna Gojo there. He's gone through, or if that's the correct pronunciation. I'm probably getting that wrong.
Average as well, man. I think Huesler has got a real good chance in that, in my opinion. The form he's been playing against a lot higher standard opposition. It's a challenger. And I think if he needs to be winning something like that. There's no point just playing in ATP events and doing well and beating top players. You need to be able to reciprocate that on the Challenger Tour as well. And this is a good opportunity for him to do it, for sure. And I don't know what you want to talk about next, but for me, I wanted to talk about the French Open and who we actually think.
I wanted to bring up the draw for this one quickly.
All right, sure.
And then just say who you think is going to be. Well, you think Huesler's
going to win. I've already said it,
yeah. I would have to probably agree. If it's not him, then maybe Serendolo, I think, could possibly take it. But,
potentially,
yeah, okay. We'll move away from there. Not going to stick too long on that. Go on then.
Yeah, but let's talk about who we now think for the French Open. Obviously, we're going to do a more in detailed video in the coming days when the draw's been announced. We'll dissect the draw, look at Rafael Nadal's route, Djokovic's route, Thiem's route. They're the main three who we think can win Roland Garros. Michael's just said here that the draw comes up tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow for all. Nice one. Thanks for that, mate. We'll do it tomorrow then, maybe, if you're free.
Mate, this is going to be
I think tomorrow's a busy day for you, isn't it?
Tomorrow, nothing's going to be in play. Everything's going to be in boxes probably for the next day or two, and so probably the earliest I can get back online again might be Friday, but maybe if not that, then definitely Saturday.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
No
If not, I might have to do it off my mobile phone, and then you'll just have to.
Do one tomorrow on your mobile phone.
Mate, if you don't mind my sound being a little bit bad, then I can probably get around and do it on my mobile phone. But
that sounds good. I think we should do one for the draw tomorrow. We'll dissect that and we'll give a bit more in detail. But for now, we just want to talk about their main three. So I'm going to pose the question to you, Robbo. Out of Dominic Thiem, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, I feel like we've got to include Alex Zverev as well, seeing as he's the finalist of the US Open. We've seen a lot of love in the comments for Mr. Zverev. And I just want to ask Alex Zverev.
Misha Zverev.
I meant to say Sasha, sorry. Sasha Zverev. Sasha, Misha, mate.
I'm not sure Misha's even going to get through the qualifying, is he? But
anyway. Yeah, out of them four, who do you think stands the best chance?
Based upon what we've seen so far, Novak Djokovic.
Even that, knowing that we're in Roland Garros and Rafael Nadal is the undisputed champion here on a million different occasions.
Doesn't matter.
Over many different years, this surface is made for Rafael Nadal. He is the man to beat.
I just think Djokovic has got a chip on his shoulder. He got defaulted from the last Grand Slam. He's got something to prove. That's what.
And what about Love 15, Dominic Thiem? As Lam says.
Yeah, but don't rule him out. If he stops getting Love 15 all the way through the French Open, he has a very good chance. I think I'm shying more towards those two than I am to Nadal. I don't know. Maybe we've been tricked by this one performance against Schwartzman and the fact he's been made to look normal for a change, which is not a good look, and it's going to maybe play on his head. You don't know, but I think Djokovic is just going to give him confidence. If he sees that he's lost to someone like Schwartzman in straight sets, and you saw what Djokovic did to Schwartzman, it was easy.
He swatted him, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like another person, just like, see, it's almost he has the mental edge over everybody when he goes on court.
I must admit, Djokovic is a bit of a god at the moment, isn't he? He's in like he's in a different category altogether right now. And it's just hard to ever think of Djokovic potentially losing a match without getting defaulted or some crazy thing happening.
I think this will set all of the fans running wild as well. If you've got all this GOAT debate and then Djokovic takes out Thiem, Rafa at the French Open on the clay, you're going to have a very good argument, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
That your guy is possibly one of the, if not the greatest of all time. But,
so just one thing though, Ben, we've got the draw at 12 o'clock tomorrow, Michael says. So that's interesting. And he also wants you to talk about the draw with a cider. They love a bit of drunk then, I think.
The French Open draw brought to you by Magners or whatever one I'm having. But yeah, I'll happily do it if we can squeeze in. I don't know how long it's going to take, but yeah, if we can squeeze in maybe half an hour or an hour at some point tomorrow, might even have to, even if we can't do it early, we might have to do a late one or something like that. But
that's
just have to see what's going on with the moving. I've got 2 days to move everything. So we just have to see how it goes. It's a stressful time.
Mate, you'll put it in. If not, you have to do one in your car with your phone with all the boxes behind you.
I don't mind. As long as everybody else doesn't mind, I can squeeze it in. I might have to be on a Bluetooth headset running around carrying boxes talking about it.
So to answer the question, you've said Novak Djokovic. You think he's the standout out of the three. You're ignoring the recent Grand Slam champion, Dominic Thiem.
I'm not ignoring him. I just think the mental frailties that he showed against someone like Zverev, it's just not going to cut it when you're against Djokovic. He showed it once already in the Australian Open final. Maybe it's better on clay. We haven't really seen Thiem back on the clay. I'll be interested to see the performances by each of them in the first 2 rounds to see how they really adapt to the clay, because Djokovic is he's looking pretty good, to be fair. He's just won another Masters, tick, top Masters person in like world record. So his confidence is going to be soaring right now, and he wants that Grand Slam. He needs that Grand Slam. He is behind the other two. he needs it more than anyone. So that's what I mean.
And could you say this has worked in a blessing in disguise for Djokovic? It's just default. Since he's been defaulted, he's then had enough time to go to Rome. If he won the US Open, there's a good chance he wouldn't have gone to Rome and played in that tournament. He's then played in it, won the tournament. Now he's in brilliant form to be going to Roland Garros, playing some of the best tennis he's done on clay now. And he could then take one from Rafael Nadal, which in theory, he would have probably taken getting defaulted from the US Open to achieve that, no?
I don't know about that. I think
really? You don't think so? He would sacrifice his US Open title for a Rome Masters win and a Roland Garros win. Considering the fact that Rafael Nadal was not playing in the US Open, he's playing in Roland Garros, so you're knowing that he's not going to be able to game one on you at all by doing it that way. I
still think that he would fancy himself in the French Open as well as the US Open, though. That's what I mean. Like, he probably would give up one Masters for a US Open and a French Open. So that's what I personally think.
Fair enough.
He has that level of... He's not beaten this year.
Yeah, but then would he win out to have won the French Open without playing so well in Rome?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't that Masters tournament was really important for him, I think, in giving him some good form to be going into Roland Garros. Rafael Nadal was going into it in poor form. But then we've seen with Cincinnati, Dominic Thiem went into the US Open in poor form, losing to Krajinovic in the first round, and then he ended up winning the US Open. Yeah. So that's why, based off that and based off everything I've just said, I'm going to go for Rafael Nadal to win the French Open.
Here we go.
Mate, I've got to. I agree with Sumner. Sumner said, "Hey Ben, Rafa has only gone unbeaten twice in clay court swing, and he has 12 titles." Rafa's still the favourite.
Rafa's always going to be the favourite. This is the thing. And when you step onto that court in Roland Garros, and there is going to be some crowd there, and they're all going to be behind Rafael Nadal, no matter what. It doesn't matter. They're all going to be behind him.
And there's going to be fans there as well. The fans will play a part in this. There's going to be a lot of people there. Novak's not going to be getting that much love, especially if he's playing. I think even Dominic Thiem will get a lot more love from the French Open fans than what Novak will.
Oh, for sure. But there's still part of me that just thinks, I don't know, there's something about him. And there was something about the way Nadal looked in that match against Schwartzman, which it might have just been an off day, but he looked different. He looked a bit older. And he looked a little bit slower, and maybe that was just an off day. But for me, if that was a sign that he was slowing down and he isn't quite back, because if he's not back to his full fitness, he could go out to a Schwartzman again in the French Open. He could go out to a Wawrinka. He could go out to... There's players that can knock him out, and it's happened before.
And Aslan Karatsev.
Ask Robin Soderling.
Mate, why you keep dismissing Aslan Karatsev? He can do it, man.
I would love it if Karatsev won the not the US Open, the French Open. That'd be amazing for the challengers. We would love that.
The best point I've seen so far in the comments, thank you for this 12 travel 21, is the person who avoids Thiem in their half is the favourite. Obviously, we're going to have Djokovic and Nadal in different halves, but what side is Dominic Thiem going to fit in? And I would have to agree with him. Whatever, because is he definitely going to be in Djokovic's?
Yeah, Djokovic will be number 1, won't he? He'll be, and then Thiem will be number 3. Nadal will be 2.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to just look at the draw because I get very confused with how it works with the seeding. But based off that, let's have a look at the draw. But I think whatever side Nadal Thiem's on, I think it's going to cause a bit of an upset. And you'd favour the other one of the big two, in my opinion.
That could be the thing that helps Rafa. If he has to play 5 sets with Dominic Thiem in the semi-final and gets through, and then if you have to play Rafa in the final, then you're just already on a losing. Yeah,
it looks like this. Look, so Tennis Aces says Rafa gets him. He thinks. I'm not sure as well. I'm thinking as well. But if that is the case, I think Novak really has got.
It's going to be. Says C3 can fall on either side. So that's
what I was saying. So I was right then, Ben.
Okay, if that's the case, I thought it was just 1 and 3 were in the top and 2 and 4 in the bottom.
It usually is that the 1 and 3 is together, but I'm not sure if that's the actual rule.
Well, if it's not, I hope it's just more random. Like,
I think it'll be more fun if it's random. And if it is, I think that's what I'm saying. If whatever side team's on, will give the other one of the big two a big chance, because you don't want to be playing team in like a semi-final or a quarter-final or something, and then having to them, because it's going to it's a good chance it'll go to 5 sets. I feel one of their matches.
Yeah.
I think a team Nadal could be a 5th set semi-final or a quarter-final or something like that. I don't think Nadal's going to cream him. Even Djokovic, I think that would go to a 5 set. We've seen Djokovic drop a lot of sets.
Yeah.
Some of those confirmed it is random.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be super exciting. And we know that Rafa's moaned about draws in the past. Let's see if he starts moaning again once this one's picked and he faces potentially Dominic Thiem. And if you see Nadal team down one end of the draw and Djokovic with his first, and you see he'll probably face Struff in the 3rd round as always. Like this is his route to every grand.
Fatigue plays a factor in the winner of the final.
Oh, for sure.
Massively. I've noticed it a lot recently.
There's no doubt that team will be there.
Thanks for joining us, actually. You've made some really good points. Thanks for your comments. Really appreciate them. He said Rafa blitzed Roger 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 in the semis, but Thiem had a multi-day 5-setter against Djokovic and was tired after set 2 of the final, which was exactly true. I think, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think Thiem won the first set, didn't it? And then after that, Rafa just completely went out and just went beast mode, like 6-1, 6-2, and just killed him off.
I don't know. Rafa in French Open final. But
Thiem he does get tired. Like you can't physically be playing 5 sets over a few days, then go and play a final against some guy who's completely fresh, only had 3 sets.
What about Zverev?
Don't give him a chance. I'm not sure if Zverev definitely in it. I saw someone said he's not.
Surely he's in it. Why would he not be in it?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw someone. I don't know if they're talking rubbish. Maybe
this is what I mean. Don't rule him out because he's not bad on clay as well. And he's just got to the final of the US Open. So if he's on that same form, if he suddenly picks up a little bit more, because he looks like a slug in the US Open and was just squeezing through.
Zverev's serves will not be the same in Roland Garros.
No, it's true. There's going
to be suppressed, and that was his big thing, I think. And
it was.
Without that, he's not really much of a brilliant player. Like I feel like a Christian Garin would take him.
So if you had Garin, another one, I'd
quite like to see or Casper Ruud or something like that. One of them type of players.
See, imagine if Rafa Nadal comes up against someone like this on a very good day. Like this is what I mean. Schwartzman, you're not ruling him out again. We not even spoke about him. Stop not talking about Schwartzman.
We'll have a look at the draw. We'll do a draw video tomorrow, and we'll actually talk about all these players and have a look at their routes. I think we'll wrap it up there. We've been speaking for over an hour.
A long one, isn't it?
It's Ben's birthday. He needs to go off, see his girlfriend, have a few more drinks, and enjoy the rest of his night. And thanks for all your comments, guys. We had quite a few of you join us tonight, so I really appreciate your support. If you've not already, please subscribe to us. Hopefully after this video, we're over the 1,800 mark. Like the video as well. That really helps.
Like it.
And Vance wishes you happy birthday.
Thank you again.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.